students, I'm going to talk in these 30-35 minutes about the various dimensions of this agricultural higher education, how we are preparing the youths for the next generation science. So that's what I'm going to talk in this brief session. Now, as you know, the investment in higher education is not considered as a essential, is not considered as a social expenditure. It is an essential component now for any productive economy. Why that is so? It is so because in the previous time or the ancient time, it was just thought of that you have to educate somebody because socially it is required. Even a few years back, it was considered that we have to spend some money for the as a social expenditure for the education. But today, if you are not educated, if you do not have the skill education, if you do not have the vocational education, I think there is no demand in the market. So gone are the days when you used to learn the practice from your parents, from your family, but now you have to be really up to date with the latest technologies, tools, and other kind of things. And that platform can be provided only by the universities. Now, if I just give an example of this quantitative, he was a very well-known management professional, and he did a very good analysis during, if you just see from 74 to 84 in US economy. And he gave a very important theory that after a brief 50 years, there is going to be a slump. But in US during this 74, 84, there could not be any slump. The things or the economy went up. The reason was because when it was analyzed, the reason was because of the more and more use of the technologies, more and more use of the innovations. And that innovation, that technology can come from our universities, from the young minds. So we have to prepare our young minds. Now, people generally ask that why we have to take use of this or why we have to depend upon these technologies. What are the challenges? And accordingly, how we can really reshape our agricultural universities. You know very well that there is a very big challenge of this climate conditions. The geographical environment, it's all different. So we have to really prepare our youth. Everything cannot be grown everywhere. Now, the conventional agricultural practices have to be now improved upon. So we have to really just see how you can grow more from the less, how you can improve those conventional practices. And we have to also see the economic, political, social conditions at every place. And there are many such scenarios where we really need to focus for this agricultural higher education with the latest tools, technologies, and innovations, whatever is required. Now, if I further talk, if you just see the domestic scenario, now you see we are the #1 country in the world for this population. And it is expected that we may be 1.6 billion by 2050. And the alarming situation is our land holding size is decreasing day by day. And it is expected that by 2050, our land holding is going to be 0.51 hectare average land holding. And not only this, the future challenges, if you see, from the input retail shop, we are moving towards online one-stop solutions. From the traditional agriculture, we are moving towards the automated system, and we just talk for agriculture 4.0. And traditional supply chain is no more existing. We are moving towards the digital supply chain. Now, everybody sitting here is a beneficiary of this. You just online make the orders and you get everything, including vegetables, milk, eggs, whatever you want at your doorstep. So that is the present trend which is going there. And in the same way, traditional credit system is being replaced by the agri-fintech revolution. And in the other spheres also, you can just see that how the value chain vulnerabilities are there, how the technology-driven solutions are there, and what is going to be their impact. And you can see these vulnerabilities not only in agricultural inputs, but also in farm practices, in the harvest and aggregations, in the storage, and in the marketing. Everywhere you can just see. And such trends, which you see in this slide, they indicate substantial opportunities that exist for technology integration across this agriculture and allied value chains. So that makes really our agricultural education much more important. In the same way, if you see the global scenario, there also you can just find that how the global food system, which employs around 29% of the persons, the land utilization figures you can see the forecasted population of the world, 10 billion, and how the demand will increase by 60% to meet this extended population. And the scenario for land holding size is also a global concern. There also we just find that 500 million smallholder farmers exist worldwide. So it's a big number. So whatever technologies we develop, we have to keep in mind the small farmers, marginal farmers, and India is the leader in that small and marginal farmers. So our youths, our young minds only can provide these solutions. And there is another change which is happening. Like we just say that we are going to become the developed country. The moment you become developed country, your share in agriculture is going to reduce. You can see the story of the developed country, middle income countries. So how the percentage of farming and food manufacturing is decreasing the moment they become developed country. So that really tells us that how many kinds of dimensions, how many kinds of challenges we have got in this particular scenario in the times to come. You see from these figures that the Europe, the America, the Australia focus majorly on reducing food losses and providing more nutritious food to the consumers. In India, it's a big concern. We have to really reduce the food losses. Again, only our young minds can come forward. It is not only through the research programs, but also through the awareness programs to the consumers that we must not waste the food. It's not only in the plates, but also in the transportation, also the post-harvest losses, and many such kind of things we have to really take care of. And one important change which we are observing now is the pattern in consumption chain. Or you can just say that people food habits are changing now. The more consumption for the fruits and meat compared to wheat and rice is happening, or those changes really we have to observe, and accordingly our research also has to move around. We did one analysis in 2020 about 4 or 5 years back that what is the human resource requirement in this agriculture in different sectors, and we found that there is a huge gap. If there is a demand of around 9.5 lakhs presently, around 50% only is the supply of the agriculture graduates in different domains. And if you just see the different sectors, if you see the agriculture sector, if you see the veterinary science, horticulture science, agricultural engineering, you can just find in the decreasing order that what is the demand and how much is the supply. Everything you can see from here. And we have taken a compound annual growth rate around 3%. And using that, we have to really see that how more and more colleges are to be opened. Now, around 80% of the total demand is for the top 5 streams. And those top 5 schemes you can see from this table, they are agriculture, veterinary science, horticulture science, agriculture engineering, and agribusiness management. Agriculture business management is one of the discipline where the demand is increasing more by this data, by this analysis, you can just see. The good thing is that the employability of our agriculture graduates is increasing. It's a very good sign. If you compare with 2016 to 2022, from 38%, it has increased to 46%. It is increasing, even gender-wise also, you can just see. It is increasing because the students are being exposed to now the soft skills. They are being provided more hands-on practice. They are being provided more experiential learning kind of things, Rabi program and other kind of things. So that is exposing them. Industrial attachment also is there, and that is making them more employable, and that's a good thing. When we analyzed, we got this data from Ministry of Education, that if you see the employability by domain, then it is maximum for the 4-year degree programs. And our agriculture degree is 4-year degree program. So that has really, this first graph you can see, the 4-year professional courses, they have very good demand. Now, if I just move towards the changes which now we are going to bring, we are now going to start the joint degrees, dual degrees, training programs. Already we have did a lot of exercise for this, and maybe very soon we are going to release the guidelines for this. Not only this, we want more and more vocational programs in our agricultural universities, and for that already more than 400 vocational programs we have started in our universities. As per this National Skill Qualification Framework and National Higher Education Qualification Framework, and that's what we are trying to do. Now, we are also trying to get the status of awarding body from NCVET. I think you know National Council for Vocational Education Training is one of the topmost agency of the Government of India for these vocational training programs, for vetting the vocational training programs, for deciding the qualification framework for this vocational programs. So we are trying to have more and more such things, even professor of practice, adjunct faculty. We are having more and more polytechnics and many such kind of things we are trying to increase now. You can see this, some of the topics like which we have included in the communication skills, soft skills, industry-oriented programs, and not only this, you can just see in the communication skills, it's a scientific English, communication and soft skills, science communication for smart scholars, many such kind of things. Really, that is helping the students for the more employability. If you see the list of 14 streams in which we have allowed the diplomas, for which the detailed guidelines have been developed by ICR and circulated, and many universities, they have already started such training programs, such diplomas after 10th class, 12th class, whatever the university decides. And all these diplomas are as per the National Qualification Framework. You can see that the completed 1 year of the 3-year degree program, it is equivalent to 3.5. If he is completing after 12th grade, it is 4.0. If it is completing the 3rd year program, it is 4.5. So like that, we have a lot of equivalence with this qualification framework. One very important thing which we did this year, just 4 or 5 months back, we released this Dean's Committee report. And that included that how we can have more and more emphasis on this entrepreneurship. You know, I think the multiple entry, multiple exit in our agriculture, in our education system under this NEP. So we are also allowing multiple entry and exit. But if somebody is exiting, we are not allowing exit even if he is not completing the entrepreneurship, the complete hands-on practice, the complete practical knowledge. So that has to be integral part of every exit program, whatever they want to do. And we have included a lot of new topics. Maybe it is artificial intelligence, this IoT-based solutions, and many other things which are required for Agriculture 4.0 in the new course curriculum, which we have started. For the more learning and the better interaction with the farmers, we have launched one app, and that is called the Vikas app. And this app allows the students to feed the complete information, whatever they have interacted with the farmers, whatever information they have imparted to the farmers, whatever information they have received from the farmers as a feedback. So everything can be fed on this mobile app, and it is centrally stored and can be analyzed by the central government. And accordingly, we can just see the impact of different schemes or the about the students' learning programs, whatever is there. And we can know sitting here that what kind of information, what kind of training has been acquired by a student in a particular village. So complete report can be maintained. Now, the biggest problem a few years back was that we are not getting the intellectuals, high intellectuals in the agriculture streams. But that is not the situation now, my friends. Presently, we have very high rankers who are opting to agriculture, which are opting for veterinary science, which are opting for forestry, or you can see horticulture, agri science, allied science. For that, we did one small experiment, and we adopted around 60 schools in Delhi, where we gave a syllabus for 6th class, 7th class, 8th class, and we did 1 week training program for the teachers that how to explain about the seed, about planting, about many other things. And the beneficiaries were really excited after attending these programs. Now we are approaching the NCRT. If they can implement this particular thing in all the agriculture or in all these schools, so that at least some basics are known to the students. Basics are known to the students so that our objective is they know the importance of not wasting the food. They know the respect for the farmers, but how much labor a farmer puts to produce the grains, and similarly respect to the farmers by knowing that how the milk comes, how much labor is required to maintain the animals, how much labor is required to maintain the crops, to cut, to harvest the crop, to process the crop, to bring it to the market. So every grain costs, every grain has to be saved. That is what we have to really tell to the fellow citizens if they know the importance of this agriculture and other things. And when we conducted one day exposure visit of around 200 schools in Delhi, it was an eye opener for all of us. Most of these schools, principals, their science teachers, they were not knowing what is agriculture. They were not knowing what are the different degree programs. So it is the lack of awareness by which teachers are not able to do the counseling for the students to opt for the agriculture education. And that was the reason that we conducted this meeting. And then we asked all the agriculture universities to conduct such kind of awareness programs in their respective districts by calling the principals, by calling the science teachers, and educate them, have the one-day orientation program in their universities so that they can know about all these things. We are implementing the latest tools for imparting the training to the students. You can see the blended learning programs. It is one of the latest technologies. And by blended learning program, you can know the each and every weakness, positiveness of all the students. So it's some kind of personalized learning. Teacher, before going to the class, he can know that what is the level of the students, so that accordingly he can modify his class, accordingly modify his presentation, and can take it. So this blended learning programs, this integrates computer assisted online activities with your traditional face-to-face teaching, and which we say chalk and talk. So that has been implemented. We made a lot of investment in this. And now there are a lot of career opportunities in this. You can see from this slide. We have in the engineering field, fisheries science, dairy and food technology, veterinary science, new dimensions are coming out. Let me just tell my all colleagues here that there is a projection that in times to come, around 90 million jobs are going to be obsolete in next 5-6 years. but 80 million jobs are going to be created in new dimensions, which we cannot predict now. But we have to prepare our students. So many opportunities will come in this in IoT-based solutions. So many opportunities will come in this artificial intelligence-based solutions for different things, or whatever equipment will be there, how to operate that, how to really incorporate all those latest tools in your research, whatever you are doing. A lot of laws will be changed because of all these developments. So everything really we need to educate our students. The good thing is that our universities are promoting, are giving a lot of emphasis for this startups business or the entrepreneurship to our students, and the average turnover of these startups which have been created, around 300 startups which have been created in the last 7-8 years. They have an average turnover of around 28 lakhs. It's a very good change in the landscape of the thinking of our young graduates. So that's really something very encouraging. You can see. Friends, I can again emphasize to create our young minds for the future innovations, for the future requirement challenges. We have invested a lot of money for the training of our students in the best of the best universities, not only in India, but across the world. You can see around 2,700 students, a majority of them was from the undergraduate level, including MSc students, including the PhD students. We have trained in more than 831 areas. Can you imagine 831 new areas which have been exposed to our students? So you can just see in the future how they can start new businesses, how they can be doing research in the new areas in which they have been exposed. They have been exposed in more than 37 countries, and they have been trained in around 180 international institutes, and around 48 universities participated in this. And you can see the gender distribution. You can just see that how the different genders. So 37% girls, and the boys, they have just participated in this. The impact is really visible now. You see, we did a base analysis, and you can just observe from this slide that presently the on-time graduation rate is 95.7, around 96%, which has increased by 18%. It was 77% in 2016, but presently it is 95%. Similarly, the placement rate has increased from 41% to 66%, an increase of around 18.4%. The faculty research effectiveness, which is a very good tool for knowing the research effectiveness. Similarly, internal revenue generation has increased to more than 13.5%. Industry-sponsored projects, which were just 32 in 2016-17, are now 300, around 400. So increase of 622%. And gender equity has increased to 49%, which was just 26% at 2023. So there is a tremendous increase impact of our efforts which we have done. We did one small analysis that how the graduation income index, which is a index. I think you know what is the index, like the poverty index, like the hunger index. So the graduate income index, which was based on 3 main categories: gender and perceptual benefits, around 13 parameters we took. The remuneration benefits, around 7 parameters we took. The aspirational benefits, we took around 10 parameters. So in total, we took around 30 parameters. And based on these 30 parameters, we sent our circular, our questionnaire, not only to agricultural universities, but the traditional universities also, with the support of UGC. And we found that the graduate income index is 6.9 out of a scale of 10 in agricultural universities, where it is 5.8 out of 10 in the other universities. So you can just see that how they are retained in the industry on this perceptual benefits, remuneration benefits. They get more remuneration, and they are more aspiring for this particular. You can see the details of these 30 parameters. That what are those perceptual benefits, remuneration benefits, and aspiration benefits. So that's really something. You can just have a glimpse of what kind of facilities, latest technologies we have got. In the middle, you can see that we provide all digital tools for the dissection of the animals. So instead of for the preliminary exercise, instead of giving the live animal or the dead animal, we provide these digital tools, some other kind of tools, so that they can have all kind of practice. It is something like a simulation model where before giving the actual drone to the students for learning, they are giving a simulator on which they do all kind of practice, and then only they are giving the actual. And in the same way, you can just see the bioflock, you can see the artificial intelligence labs, you can see many other centers. The very important initiative which we have taken is that we have created around 16 center of advanced science and technology in agriculture. These centers are all having the latest topics. You can just observe, like the topic Center for Advanced Agriculture Science and Technology on conservation agriculture, on degraded soils, on genomics, on market intelligence, on livestock health, vaccine development, and many more topics you can just see. Skill development on coconut-based secondary agriculture. And these centers are national centers. So any student studying anywhere can connect to these centers and can do the PhD or MSc, whatever they want to do in the topics of these latest topics which you see. Now, we also did one small attempt to know what are the talents of different students in different fields by creating one, by conducting 4 hackathons on different topics: animal science, fisheries. We did one horticulture and crop science. Like that, we did these different hackathons, and we were surprised to see tremendous response, tremendous ideas from the students. And whatever ideas, whatever innovations they just put forth before the committee, we gave handsome prizes also, 10 lakh, 5 lakh, 3 lakhs, something like that, first, second, third prizes. And we requested our honorable minister to give the prizes. So just see the tremendous potential in our agriculture graduates. They have a lot of ideas. The only thing is we have to handhold them. We have to really take their ideas and implement at the field, and do the scaling up of those ideas, whatever ideas they have got. We have got more than 850 experiential learning units now. And these experiential learning units are all having the state-of-the-art technologies. You can just see from this. And our students are showing a lot of interest in this, in the field, in these all ELs, experiential learning units. We have a lot of digital infrastructure now, which also creates a lot of interest in these students by getting connected with all these latest tools. The startup ecosystem, as I just told you, is also on a rising trend. And we are at the 10th position in the terms of business environment ranking among the 82 countries, which has been given by the ministry. And in the ease of doing business index also, we are in the top 63 among 190 countries. And the index is increasing. So that means our position is increasing. You just see this. And very important data is about 6,000 agriculture startups, which you see presently. I think this is more than 6,000. Out of this, 2,608 are dedicated to agri-tech. So if you see, out of total 1 lakh total startups are around 1 lakh, out of which around 6,000 belongs to agriculture. And out of those 6,000, 2,600 are just for the technologies, agriculture technologies. So technology is so important, and people are showing a lot of interest for this agri-tech startups. And rest, you can see the organic agriculture. But the good thing is, and a area of concern for all of us, that out of this organic agriculture, if you see, many students or many entrepreneurs who do not have any background in agriculture, they are shifting from their traditional profession like IITians who are civil engineers, who are mechanical engineers. So they are showing interest towards this organic agriculture and coming to agriculture and making their startups. So that's really something which is very encouraging. In the same way for the horticulture, food processing, animal husbandry, dairy farming, and fisheries. So this breakup of those startups. So that's really something which is very good. So thank you very much for your patience listening.